These notes are about bias, and the objective is to understand what bias is so we can avoid it. Bias is all over the place. Whenever you guys watch the Super Bowl or any other commercial, you are seeing bias in action. The manufacturers are twisting or their data or some other information to try to get you to sell their product. This isn't always the case, but generally it's the case because they want you to buy their product and not somebody else's. So all those stain commercials are, you can take them with a grain of salt because the stain, we didn't actually see them treat the stain, so we don't know how effective they're actually being and if they're actually using the real product or falsifying their data. So in science, if we're going to try to get accurate results, we need to make sure that we do not have bias because we want to have a correct report. You don't want to have say something is causing cancer when in actuality it is not. So here's a fun little example. So this guy is thinking about pigeons, and he says they're dirtier than they think. They eat trash and leave their droppings wherever they go. Sounds like babies. Pigeons also carry diseases. One time I was bitten by a pigeon. When I tried to shoo it away, I had to get a shot because the pigeon might have given me a disease. So this guy is obviously very opinionated about how awful pigeons are. So he got bitten by a pigeon. Generally, that would be nothing. You might just have to clean your cut so you don't get an infection, but you probably would not need um, any kind of medicine or shot for that. However, because he had such strong opinions about how dirty pigeons are, he thought he needed a shot. So his bias had changed. Whereas somebody could love pigeons and feed pigeons all over the time, all over New York, and if they got bitten by a pigeon, they would just put a band-aid on it and move on. So bias is just your opinions of influence how you react. So bias is, it changes how you view and interpret facts, and you can either be biased in favor of something or biased against it. So bias is something that changes how you interpret the facts, and in science we try to eliminate that bias as much as possible so we have facts and not opinions. Bias sometimes it happens from past experience. So maybe this author was locked in with a whole bunch of pigeons and they pooped all over him when he was a child, or maybe a pigeon pooped on him at one time and caused him to have a dirty outlook on pigeons, or maybe he really was scared of Home Alone 2 when the pigeons attacked the person, so he did not like pigeons anymore. So bias, again, we just basically talked to reduce bias. You need to be conscious. You need to be objective. You need to explain what the world is really like and not think about how it should be, and only go with facts and not opinions. So what we need to do is you need to take, whenever you do an experiment, you can't throw out results. If you throw out results that is falsifying your data, you can explain those results in your conclusion and say why those results might have been wrong, but you should not throw out any wrong results. You also should not change your data. That's even worse. Change your data to better match. So like if you are working for a company and they want you to make their product look good, you shouldn't change their data just to please those people. A lot of time money comes into it, and then you have people changing their data to try to make money, and that's when you have issues. And if you're found out, then you no longer have a job and you lose all your money, and most times you even go to jail. So to avoid data, whenever you do your experiments, you need to be objective. So don't throw in any opinions or past experiences. You just have to look at your data and interpret it the best you can, and make sure you don't throw in any opinions in there. You should be objective or honest. And when if you made any mistakes, just make sure you talk about them, but do not ignore them. So that is what when you read experiments, you're going to be looking to see if there's anything that was caused to falsify their information.